Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the garage, welcome back to a very pleasant day here in Pennsylvania. Very low temperature for August, that's for sure. Now that being said, it is the very end of August, September right around the corner, which only means October and hunting season are coming shortly. So can't wait for that, can't wait to get out in the woods. Definitely didn't spend enough time out there last year, even though we did shoot a very nice buck. Hopefully this year we will shoot an even better one and get even more time out in the woods, which I will be bringing you guys along with like I have in the past. So anyway, guys, today we're doing something that I always said I wasn't going to do. It was something that everybody expected of me, and I just said, nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm fine with how it is and all that. Well, things have come to arise, and well, we're going to do what I said I wasn't going to do. So it is time to end the stock life. We're going to exhaust and tune the Polaris four-wheeler. I wouldn't talk about the Ford. That I seriously am not going to touch. We're going to leave it completely emissions intact, legal, everything like that. I'm loving that truck so far, and everything is working out great. We are putting an exhaust and a tune on our Polaris 850 Sportsman. Now, the reason for this is because, let me roll back. I said I wasn't going to do this because I originally was not going to put an exhaust on this four-wheeler. It is a very quiet four-wheeler. Well, it's stock, so it's as quiet as it is ever going to be. So I wasn't going to put an exhaust on it. I'm over the whole loud four-wheeler thing, loud truck thing. You know, it has its time and place. This is quiet, daily driver, long hauler, great. This, it's a toy, loud, great. That's going to be a menace at some point. Loud, great. But, you know, quiet has its time and place. And one thing is riding. It's nice to have a quiet machine so you can enjoy the day and not get done, you know, ears ringing and all that. So I originally wasn't going to put an exhaust or anything like that on the four-wheeler. But we've had a little mishap. Went riding with my buddy up in coal country a while back, and as you can see, we had to make some little temporary repairs just to get through the day because, well, our exhaust, well, we broke a bracket is basically what it is. But this thing is all rusted and starting to rot out, probably from the brackish down to hunting camp. That salt water, you know, it just eats away at stuff. So we needed to fix the muffler anyway, so I figured, why not get an exhaust, get something stainless or aluminum? That way we don't have to worry about it ever again. Now the tuning part of that comes in because now that we've put an exhaust on it, we are going to have to tune the four-wheeler. So that's where this whole box comes in. As you guys can see, HMF, and we have a bunch of packing. And there is our new muffler. We have a new HMF muffler here. If I can get it unpackaged. All right, so here is our new HMF muffler for our Polaris. So HMF, this is their Titan series, but if you guys see right here, it is the QS. It is the quiet series muffler. We're not going with anything louder. A friend of mine had this, said it was very reasonable noise-wise. I don't want anything like real loud. They have one that's like the XL, which, you know, extremely loud. I didn't want that. I wanted something quiet. And then with that, we had to get our HMF optimizer. So that way we have the correct fueling going to the four-wheeler for the more open exhaust. Like I said, wasn't something I was planning on doing, but hey, we need a muffler. We need to fix it. We need to do something. So why not upgrade? Also, I'll put a couple pictures, couple videos up. Went riding with my buddy up in coal country, definitely had a good time. Going to try and do more of that, bring you guys along. And yeah, this machine is fantastic. It does have its flaws because I sunk it. It was all the way, as you will see in the pictures, up to here with water. We had to pull the spark plugs, crank it over, you know, drain the exhaust, all that kind of stuff, get the water out of it. It did run good, but then we had a little issue with our rad getting clogged up with mud, all that kind of stuff. I'm the kind of rider, if you guys have been with the channel, I'm sure this is not a shock or a surprise to you. There's a mud hole, I'm going for it. If I, at the beginning of the day, say, hey, I'm gonna try stay clean today and all, everybody knows that's a lie. We get to a mud hole, I'm gonna try and go through it. I just love it. But I don't want to sacrifice the whole trail part of riding. So we're going to do some mild upgrades. Like I said, exhaust and tune right now. Eventually we're going to get some snorkels, and then we'll see where things progress from there. Because yeah, getting your machine flooded is just not a good time for anybody. So anyway, enough jibber jabber. Let's get our new HMF exhaust on, get our HMF optimizer in, and get the Polaris tuned and all that. All right, so we got the exhaust on. Very simple to do. Basically, you pull the old exhaust off, which is just really held on with springs. You put these two springs back up here. Once you get the new muffler installed, you got to, you know, get it aligned with the brackets up top. Also, HMF provides a new bracket for down low here, so we got that all installed. Everything is good. And we got our little turn down in with the spark arrestor and all that. Also, we got our HMF optimizer installed, which basically you have to pull this plastic off and you need to undo the injector harness on each cylinder. So you undo both those, and then basically it's a pass through, so like a Banks or an Edge or anything like that. So plug the optimizer into the injector itself and then plug the factory harness into the optimizer. Very simple, very easy to do. It was just kind of hard to get to it because you got to pull that plastic off and then get to the intake box and all that kind of stuff. I secured it there, and also you have to run a ground wire, which we have ran up to the battery in the front. Trying to put the seat on with one hand. Hold on a second. All right, so got the seat reinstalled. The only thing left to do is to start this thing and run it and see how she does. So I'm really hoping that this thing is not a lot louder than stock. I'm sure it'll be a little bit, but we'll see. All right, so at idle seems to be pretty much, pretty much the same as stock. So at idle seems to be pretty much, pretty much the same as stock. So this is the first aftermarket exhaust I've ever put on something where I'm like, yeah, it's not any louder. You know, throughout my years, I've always wanted things louder. For once, I want things to stay quiet. And that's what we've accomplished. So this HMF Quiet Series Titan exhaust is definitely that. It's comparable with the stock exhaust. It definitely is not loud, it's not obnoxious, which is a plus for what we want to do. You know, any more riding, it just the way things are, the way people are, you got to have your stuff quiet. You don't want to be making a racket, all that. Also, getting off the machine at the end of the day, and let me shut this off. Getting off the machine at the end of the day and not having your ears ringing, that's definitely a plus. You just want to go out, enjoy yourself, and not have to worry about, you know, that loud booming exhaust just killing you. So the only thing left to do is take it for a ride and see how she does. Honestly, I don't need any more performance out of this thing. This thing is plenty fast enough. I think it gets up to 70 or 75 on the street, which I don't really drive it on the street typically, but I've, you know, gone out and see what it can do. But about 65, it starts trying to tank slap, and it gets real hairy. So, but anyway, on the trails, you never do that. So I'm very happy with how the exhaust sounds so far. So let's take her for a rip and see if this thing has any more performance to it. Wow, this thing just gets up and goes. So I took it out on the street, and that thing just, man, it definitely has some performance to it now, more than it did before. I got up around like 65 or 70, and I started to lose my hat, so we had to back out of it. But on the low end, at least, this thing just even more than it did before. I mean, these machines, that's so impressive. The fact that this thing does 60 is kind of terrifying, to be honest. Like a big, like what, 800 pound, 700 pound four-wheeler should not go that fast at all. But wow, that HMF exhaust with the HMF optimizer, yeah, definitely a nice upgrade. We need a new muffler, and we got a little performance to boot, so you can't beat that. Plus, it is not noisy, which to get performance like that and not make it loud as heck, and you know, have your ears ringing at the end of a ride, that is awesome. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I don't know if anybody has noticed, but the Ford is now missing. So we had to take the Ford back to the dealership already. I've only had one tank of fuel through it, but you'll find out why, hopefully, in the next video. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Something a little different, messing with the sportsmen, messing with the players. Put down in the comments down below what you think. Let me know if you want to see a little riding, because I'm hopefully going to start riding a little more than I used to. Well, a little more than I have been used to. We used to ride all the time, but I'm hoping to get back into it and, you know, really show this thing what it needs to do. But we do need a set of snorkels, because I'm that guy that wants to go through that mud hole. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Get out in your garage, get the wrenching on your truck or your four-wheeler.